Hi guys, Amy here, also known as Hidden Treasure Picker here on YouTube. It's been a little while since I've made a video. It's been a crazy couple weeks, had a lot going on, but I'm back. I'd like to make some new videos for you guys, so I'm gonna start off with this one where I tell you guys some items that have sold for me over the past couple weeks. I've sold more items than this, so I decided to kind of condense it down, and I figured I would do about 23 sales that sold for $20 or more for me over the past couple weeks. So let's get started on that. Alright, as usual guys, as I go through these, I'll go ahead and put comps on the screen so that you can see what the item sold for, see what it looked like, and everything like that. I'm hoping that this kind of content will help you learn what kind of things are selling in my store to help you maybe know what kind of items to look out for to source yourself. Okay, the first item we got is these Teva sport sandals. They're a Hurricane 3 sport sandal for women. These I bought at the bins this summer. They probably cost me a little over $1, and they sold for $22 on best offer. The next item is another pair of shoes. These are by Dansko. They're a Mary Jane style women's shoe. I had actually purchased these quite a while ago at a thrift store. I probably had maybe $2, $3, something like that into them. I can't really remember. It was a long time ago that I bought these. And they finally sold for $23 on best offer. The next item is an item that I actually just bought a few weeks ago at a garage sale for about 50 cents. This was a Cincinnati Bearcats New Era fitted hat. This sold on best offer for $20. Hats are a good item to keep your eye out on. Certain ones do better than others. Just do your research like anything else and look up comps on hats. You'd be surprised, there's a lot of used hats that will go for decent money up to really good money. The next item that sold is also a hat. This one is a Polo Ralph Lauren hat. Just a basic Polo Ralph Lauren hat with a little pony on the front. This I got at a yard sale this summer, a few weeks ago probably, for $1, and it sold for $21.97 plus shipping. The next item is a Bath & Body Works wallflower refill pack. This came with 2 of the little wallflower refills from Bath & Body Works. They were a black amethyst scent, and these were new in the package. I paid 50 cents at a garage sale for these this summer, and they sold for $19.97 plus shipping. Make sure you guys look out for things like that. Bath & Body Works stuff can do fairly well. A lot of people really like Bath & Body Works things, like their sprays, their lotions, body washes, and things like this, like the wallflowers, which just go in these little plug-in things that go in the wall and they like scent up the room, kind of like an air wick or something like that, but they're by Bath & Body Works. Those can do pretty well, and it was really good that I found these for like 50 cents at a garage sale, because 50 cents into 20 is a really good flip. Alright, the next item is a little bit controversial because of what some people will say about this particular type of item and trying to sell it on eBay. This is a Beachbody DVD set. Now this was a set of 3 DVDs, the Hip Hop Abs series. This was brand new, sealed. I found it at a garage sale this summer for $1, and it has sold for $19.97 plus shipping. Now, the reason that this is kind of controversial is because people will say you shouldn't list Beachbody on eBay because you can end up with a Vero, which you can. I mean, I know that can happen. So you better be careful about selling this kind of thing on eBay. I don't want to advise people to do it, since you can get in trouble. However, I've sold it a few times and it always works out for me. So far, knock on wood, haven't had a problem, and they usually sell fairly quickly and usually for some pretty decent money. So it's up to you if you want to take that chance. For me personally, I've done well with it and haven't really had an issue. So I feel like I will probably keep picking up Beachbody unless I run into an issue. Right now it's just been profitable for me, so I'm sticking with it. The next sale was a sale from Macari. These were some in-ear headphones or earbuds by Monster. Now, I bought these a while back at this store that's near me. It's called $1. It's kind of like, I don't know if it's necessarily an Amazon pallet liquidation kind of store. That's kind of what it seems like. It seems like a lot of their items have like Amazon stickers on them, but I feel like they also have a lot of items from like Kohl's and Target and things like that too. So it may just be liquidation boxes in general that they're buying from stores and Amazon. I'm not really sure how it works, but basically their prices will differ every day. Like their week starts off on, I think, like a Friday. So like on Friday, every item is like $6, and then I think it drops down to like $5 on Saturday, and so on and so forth through Wednesday until it's down to like, I think, $1 on Wednesdays, and then I think they close on Thursday for like restocking. So it's kind of a cool setup. I've been a few times. I haven't been in a while actually, but I had purchased this one of the last times I went, and it was like a $6 day. So these I bought for $6, and they sold for $25 on Mercari. Next up, we have a plush. This is a plush by the brand Ty. You might know them as they make like the Beanie Babies and things like that. Now, this wasn't a Beanie Baby. This is just an older stuffed animal that was like a lot larger, like a more normal size plush from Ty, not like small like the Beanie Babies, sorry. And he's not a Beanie Baby, he's just like a bigger stuffed animal. And he had on like an American flag sweater and stuff. I found him at the bins a few weeks ago and paid about $1.40 or so for him because of what he weighed. And he sold for $19.97 plus shipping. All right, next up is this strawberry shortcake vintage piece from the Happy Home. This was like a bathroom piece. Like the strawberry shortcake Happy Home was like a whole like house setup. They had like different furniture pieces for like a strawberry shortcake house back in like the 80s. And this was like a little bathroom mirror piece. Now this I didn't have anything into because it was something from when I was younger. I recently started selling off a whole bunch of toys from when I was younger that were mine. And I actually had a whole bunch of strawberry shortcake stuff that I've already sold, a whole bunch of it. And I've made some pretty good money off of that stuff. This was one of the last pieces that I had remaining. And this sold for $23.72 plus shipping. So yeah, you guys, vintage toys can do really well. If you have things from your own childhood that you're willing to part with, you might want to look through what you have. Some of it could be very valuable. Otherwise, look for that kind of stuff at thrift stores, garage sales. You can always find this kind of stuff around. Vintage toys from like the 80s and 90s, things like that. That stuff is really hot and can sell for a lot of money. So keep your eye out for those kind of items. They could be pretty profitable. Next up, we have this vintage Ertl John Deere tractor combine die-cast toy. Again, this is something that I didn't have any money into. This was a vintage toy from my past, and I sold it for $19.97, and it's going through the global shipping program. So it's going overseas, but going through eBay's global shipping program. If you don't know about eBay's global shipping program, they make it really simple to sell things that are going out of the country. You just use their global shipping program, and what happens is you're just responsible for getting the item to their shipping center that is in Kentucky, and then they take care of it from there. They open the package, look at it, make sure everything's okay, then they repackage it, print off a new label, ship it overseas. So you just have to be responsible for getting it to Kentucky, and afterwards it's all on eBay. So if something would happen between the global shipping center and its final destination, eBay would take care of any issues that would arise. So it's a really nice program to use to make it safer to ship internationally. Okay, this is a JanSport book bag backpack. I got this at the bins probably a couple weeks ago, paid just under $2 for it. It's beginning to be a really good time to pick up backpacks and to sell them, especially with back to school shopping coming up. This is a really hot time for that kind of item. So be on the lookout for things like that. Be on the lookout for book bags, backpacks, anything else school related could be really good to pick up right now, because people should start their back to school shopping really soon. So this sold for me for $23.97. Okay, next up is this Pillsbury Doughboy measuring cup. It was a vintage measuring cup. It has the Pillsbury Doughboy on it. I got this at a garage sale this summer for $1, and it sold for $20 plus shipping. All right, guys, this next one is a Jim Shore figure. Jim Shore is very popular. His stuff is expensive when you buy it in the first place, and it's also pretty pricey on resale, at least most of the pieces. Now, of course, there's certain exceptions. There's probably some pieces that don't go for as much, but some of his stuff is worth pretty decent money, and some of it's worth a lot of money. So keep an eye out for Jim Shore items. These are all wooden hand-carved items that he hand carves himself. This was an angel with a nativity scene on it, and I paid $5 for this at a garage sale this summer, and it sold for $39.97 plus shipping. All right, so this next item is an elephant figurine. I talked about this in one of my more recent videos. My grandmother, who passed away about 1.5 years ago, really loved elephants. She collected a whole bunch of elephant items, figurines, and such. And my mother recently gave me a whole bunch of her stuff, especially her elephants, to sell off on eBay. So I've been slowly selling those off. And this is an elephant figurine by Hamco that recently sold. This one sold for $25 plus shipping. This is another elephant item that sold. Same thing from my grandmother's collection. This was like a desk clock. It was a pretty large piece. This sold for $42.50 plus shipping. All right, this next sale has a story behind it. This was several elephants out of my grandmother's collection. I had a buyer write me, I think it was on the 4th of July, and said that they were interested in multiple elephants that I was selling, and is there any way that I could combine shipping? So I told them, sure, go ahead and let me know which ones they were interested in, and I would go ahead and make them a special listing with those elephants and with combined shipping for all of them together, and even cut them a little bit of a discount. So that's what I did. So I'm gonna pop up probably different pictures up here to show you like what the lot sold for, and then like what each individual elephant looked like that I sold. So they went ahead and told me there was like 8 different elephants that they wanted. So I went ahead and took the time to make a special listing that included all 8 of them, combined the shipping into one shipping cost based on how much all of that would weigh together, but in one box. And also, like I said, I gave them a little bit of a break on the total cost of everything. So I sold the whole lot of 8 of them for $120 plus the shipping. So they bought that, and then I sent it to them. A few days later, I get a message from them saying that they received it, and 2 of the elephants were broken. So I told them that I could go ahead and refund them for the 2 elephants that had broken, and asked them if that would be okay, you know, and told them I would go ahead and file a claim with USPS for, you know, damage to merchandise. And they wrote back, and they didn't seem to be happy with that solution. They originally had said in their original message that the USPS had completely damaged the box. Therefore, originally they were basically blaming USPS, but then after I offered to, you know, do the best I could by refunding them for the 2 pieces that were broken, they started trying to say that I didn't package it well, and so on and so forth. Well, you know, I'm not going to argue with a customer. However, I spent a lot of time and a lot of packaging material on this particular purchase because these items were very breakable, and I knew I had to be super careful packaging this up. So I did. I packaged it to the best of my ability and everything like that. Well, anyway, they started trying to say then that I didn't package it well, and basically it seemed like they were fishing for either other free items from my store or for a partial refund a partial refund on shipping. And they, from the get-go, basically, from even the original message, and then they continued to do so, basically threatened negative feedback, which is completely against eBay policy. You can't threaten negative feedback. That's like a big eBay no-no. So I went ahead and wrote to eBay for Business and explained to them, you know, that the customer was not being cooperative with me trying to assist them in offering them this partial refund, and that they were threatening negative feedback. In the meantime, this customer also left a false positive, because they left me a positive feedback, but with negative comments about how I didn't pack it good enough and everything else. So basically, after I wrote to eBay for Business, I got them to remove the feedback and everything like that. So that was just a story I wanted to share with you guys. You'll have customers sometimes that you can't make happy. You can't please them. You can try to do your best to resolve situations, and it's not always going to work out. I just wanted to let you guys know that, I mean, I had that problem. I've had that problem in the past. So not every customer is going to be the perfect customer, and you're going to run into issues, and it's okay. And if a customer threatens negative feedback, I mean, my best suggestion would be to just contact eBay, because that is completely against eBay policy. And if the person does leave you negative feedback or even leaves you a false positive, you can get it removed. So don't be afraid to reach out to eBay if you have an issue like this with a customer. The next item is a vintage Fisher-Price toy. It was like a little gas pump. This was probably from like the 70s, 80s, maybe 90s, but I feel like it was probably more like 80s. Again, this was something from when I was younger, so I didn't have any money into it. And this sold for me for $40 plus shipping. The next item is also another Fisher-Price item. Again, vintage from probably the 80s. This was a Fisher-Price nursery school. So it was like a whole big lot of things. It was like the school with a little miniature bus and some people and some playground equipment, and as you can see in the picture, just a whole bunch of items that came along in this set for the nursery school. And this item sold on Mercari, and this sold for $100 plus shipping. So you guys, Fisher-Price vintage toys can sell for pretty good money. A lot of times for a lot of money. As you saw, one of mine that I just sold for $40, and the other one sold for $100. So that's pretty good money, especially when I didn't have any money into these because they were from when I was younger. However, if you find this kind of thing at yard sales, thrift stores, what have you, it could be good things to pick up, because you could make some decent profit off of these kind of items. The next item is another health and beauty aid. This was a fragrance mist spray from Victoria's Secret. This one is called Neon Palms Fragrance Mist. This item, again, I didn't have any money into it. Well, actually, I probably did, because I had purchased this for myself a while ago, probably at one of their semi-annual sales for like $5 or $6. I probably only used it like once or twice, and then I decided I want to get rid of, you know, some of my health and beauty things that I have, because I have a lot of it. So I decided to sell it, and this actually sold for $60 plus shipping. I took a best offer on that, and it sold. So Victoria's Secret scents can sometimes sell for quite a bit of money. A lot of them are retired. Victoria's Secret retires a lot of their scents, and they typically tend to do that a lot more often than Bath & Body Works. So it seems that Victoria's Secret scents will sell for a lot more money than even Bath & Body Works, especially the retired items. So keep that in mind, another thing to look out for. This was another really cool flip. This item I bought at a garage sale this summer for $10. I did pay up for it. This item is a Longaberger John Deere basket. So I don't know if you guys have heard of Longaberger before, but it's a very popular brand with a really good following, especially like with their woven baskets. A lot of people really like them. There's woven decorative baskets, and people really like them, and they're very expensive. So it had that going for it, but it also had the fact that it was a John Deere version going for it. And John Deere is a very collectible item as well. So a lot of people collect Longaberger, and a lot of people collect John Deere. So when I saw this, I knew it was probably something pretty special. So I did pay up for it. I picked it up for $10, but it sold by best offer for $55 plus shipping. Okay, so I just talked about this next item in my recent haul video. So I just got it a few weeks ago, paid $5 for it at a garage sale, and it sold for $74.97. It is a CPR landline call blocker unit, just like this little electronic unit that I guess you hook up to your landline phone, and it can block, you know, scam callers and things like that. So that was a pretty cool flip to go from 5 into 75. So those were all some pretty good flips. Now I'm on to my last 2 items of this 23 items that sold for over $20. So the next item is this Sony Handycam video camera. I had no money into this because this was a video camera that I have had for years. I got it as a gift. I used it for a long time, and I just don't use it anymore because it's like an older high 8 videotape type video camera. So to me, it's like outdated technology, and I don't really use it anymore. So I finally decided, well, I should just make some money off of this. I should sell it, get some money. So I decided to do that. So I've had it up for, I don't know, probably a couple months or so, if that, maybe a month or two. And it sold this week for $180 plus shipping. So guys, make sure you keep your eye out for things like this, because you can also find these kind of cameras at garage sales and thrift stores sometime, especially the Sony Handycam cameras. Those things can go for a lot of money, so keep your eye out for those. Some people really like that old technology and will pay a lot of money for it. And Sony is a really good brand that a lot of people also really like. Sony has a very good following, and people will pay a lot of money for Sony items. Okay, I saved the best for last. The absolute best sale of the last couple weeks, not to mention probably one of my best sales ever. One of my best flips ever, profit-wise as well. So this item, I got at a garage sale this summer. I paid $5 for it. It was at a garage sale where they advertised a whole bunch of like older items. They had a whole bunch of sports cards, some old toys, things like that. So when I got there on like the first day, pretty much as soon as they opened, and there was already a ton of people there. So I also purchased a vintage G.I. Joe, like a 12-inch action figure G.I. Joe from there that was like new in the box. He was from the 90s. I just featured him, I think, in like my last sold video, because I sold him. I had paid $15 for him and sold him for $40. So this is part of the reason why I was okay paying $15 for him, because I also bought this next item that I'm going to talk about at the same sale, and I only paid $5 for it. So this item was on a shelf with a whole bunch of board games, and like I said, there was already a whole bunch of people there, so I'm sure there was already people that had looked at the board games and everything like that. So I didn't really know what it was. I just saw that it looked older, so it looked vintage, and it was still sealed, still shrink wrapped and everything, brand new. So I decided to look it up on eBay. When I saw how much this item was selling for, I was blown away, just absolutely blown away. And I was like, there's no way I'm not picking this up for $5. So I got it. It's this game called Avalon, or no, it's by Avalon Hill, and it's on to Richmond. It's like a strategy game that has something to do with, I don't know, like it's like a war game, I'm pretty sure. So like I said, it was brand new sealed, and I looked it up and was blown away. So I picked it up for the $5, and I mean, this was probably a month or two ago when I bought it. So it took a little bit of time to sell, but really not that long in the scheme of things. So this item, this game, sold for me, you guys, for $349.97 plus shipping. That's crazy. That's insane. That's one of, seriously, the best flips I think I have ever had. So here's the thing, guys. You want to keep an eye out for board games. Board games can be incredibly valuable. Not every board game, of course. I've run across plenty of board games that aren't worth anything at all. And I don't necessarily always just know what board games to look for. But I typically do at least look up board games that are brand new sealed. Because at least that way you know that, you know, all the pieces are there and everything like that. Sometimes buying a used board game can be more risky because you don't know if all the pieces are there and whatnot. I mean, you can always check, you can count the pieces, you can look at the instruction manual if it has an instruction manual with it, see what pieces are supposed to be there, double check, make sure they're there. It just is, it's pretty time consuming. And so unless a game is really worth the money to go through and check all that, you might not want to mess with it. I mean, I personally don't usually unless it seems like it's worth it. It just depends on the game. But I always do my research. So again, you guys, just make sure you're doing your research. Make sure you're looking up sold comps on things, whether you're at a garage sale, a thrift store, it doesn't matter. If something looks interesting to you, if you think even for a second something could have value, go ahead and take the time to research it, look it up. Looking up sold comps on eBay couldn't be easier. You just pull up your app, either scan a barcode if there's a barcode, or type the item in the search bar. Make sure you filter to the completed and sold listings, and you can go through and see how much that item has been selling for over the past 90 days on eBay. That's the best way to find out, you know, what kind of profit you can make on items that you don't know anything about, because I definitely don't know everything about everything. So just make sure you're always doing your research, and you guys, you can find some crazy profit on things that you never would have thought. So $5 into $350 is definitely probably one of my most profitable sales ever, and probably just in general one of my best sales ever. So like I said, research, look everything up. You guys, if I can do this, you guys can do it too. I'm not an expert. I haven't been doing this for, you know, 20 years or anything crazy like that. I've only been doing it like a couple years. So just make sure you're always researching, always learning, always finding new things to sell, because the potential out there is just amazing. The things you can find is amazing. So if you guys liked this content, make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can keep seeing more just like it. Make sure you hit the like button on this video because it helps me out, helps the YouTube algorithm to get this video out to more people. If you have any comments or questions about anything, go ahead and leave them down below. I will try to answer any comments or questions anyone may have. I'm going to try and get some more videos up for you guys soon. I know it's been a long time since I posted any videos. Stay tuned because I should be posting a haul video very shortly after this, either same day or next day. So keep an eye out. I wanted to make sure I got a couple videos up pretty close together because I know it's been a while. Alright guys, I'm gonna head on out of here. So until next time, keep on hunting for that hidden treasure.